TV84 viewers, we have Dane Waters from Punjab Referendum Commission here with us. Mr. Waters, can you please explain the process of referendum for the common people and how Punjab Referendum Commission is working with Sikhs for Justice and this whole referendum campaign is going?
Oh, sure. So a referendum is when the people have the ability to speak their mind on a specific issue. It's like the right to self-determination. It's the ultimate tool around the world for people to speak their opinion on an issue. India will not allow, as of now, a referendum on this issue. So what the Sikhs for Justice has been doing is going around the world to the Sikh community, asking their opinion on the issue. The Referendum Commission was established to ensure that the votes were held in a very free, fair manner, and that's consistent with international norms, and that's what we do as the Commission. We don't take any specific position on the issue itself. But around the world we've been traveling, following and making sure that the votes are conducted properly, and they've been doing a phenomenal job to ensure that the people vote with full transparency and according to international norms.
With the commission, was it constituted by Sikhs for Justice, or how you guys came up with the commission with this idea and eventually you formed a commission? How did that came up?
Well, my background has been in direct democracy issues. I've been doing it for over 30 years. About 4 years ago, it's hard to remember now, pre-pandemic, we were approached by some individuals who wanted to do this referendum, and they approached us to want to know, hey, we want to do this right. So I, working with some other individuals, Matt Kortrup and Paul Jacob and Bruno Kaufman, we decided to set up the commission so that we could advise. I mean, we're totally independent. We're not funded by Sikhs for Justice. We're just completely independent, and we advise on things that we like and we don't like when it comes to the referendum.
Going with your background, as you said, you have been doing referendums, or you have been associated with this movement for the past 30 years. Have you already done referendums in other countries or with other people, with other ethnicities or communities?
Well, I've monitored referendums all over the world, but this is the first non-governmental referendum on this scale that we've been involved in. And which is great about this, and one of the reasons we are very supportive of this process, is because there are a lot of groups out there who want to express their feelings about specific issues, and there's no mechanism. So we are very optimistic that this process that Sikhs for Justice started on the Khalistan referendum will be a model for others to use around the world to increase awareness of the plights of other minority groups out there that need to be recognized.
Can you please explain me a little bit about the types of referendums, because you said this is non-governmental referendum, no government is involved. India will never allow for this referendum to be held in India. So, and the previous referendums you have been part of, they were government organized referendums. So what is the difference, technically speaking?
Well, I've been involved in various types. For example, when Somaliland wanted to break away from Somalia, when they wanted to break into two, I advised on the Somaliland referendum as a constitutional amendment referendum was held in Somaliland. So I advised on that. It was not recognized by Somalia, so Somalia today still is joined, but there are and that was actually sponsored by the government of Somaliland. So there's different iterations. There are those referendums that are governmental, that are supported by the government, that are funded by the government. Like you see here in California all the time, referendums and initiatives, those are binding and legally binding. You have that level. And then you have those that are sponsored, like for example in Somaliland, where the people in the country want to vote on the issue, which was the model that was going to be used for this issue in India. As I'm still remain optimistic that at some point in time India will come to their senses and say that we should allow the vote, but we'll see. And then there are those that are, when we say non-governmental, but are sponsored by certain ethnic groups. They want to make sure the world knows how they feel on this issue, and this is what's happening here. So there's different levels, but this one is extremely organized. It follows international norms, and that's why we believe this is a model for other organizations and groups to follow.
What can the community expect from this Khalistan referendum campaign, which is non-binding? What can the people expect to achieve from this referendum campaign?
Well, just look at yourself. I mean, you're out here, you're the media. You see tens of thousands of people out here voting on the Capitol lawns in Sacramento, so it raises awareness. I mean, people like